Welcome back, everybody, here to another episode of Gregtech Community Edition Unofficial. Your friendly neighborhood Robocop here to tell you we're going to advance civilization even further with procrastination. We are definitely not doing this one right now because I am sick and tired of looking at chemicals and doing that way too long. So, instead of looking at chemicals, we're going to come up here and look at ore. I like ore. Ore is simple. Ore is nice. So, taking a look at this, we needed some new advanced machines here. So, all in one quest. This quest describes the tungsten chain. Tungsten is obtained from either tungstate or scheelite, which are part of the same vein in the end. I did already go get some of that. Just like rutile chain, you only need to input one item type, and everything else will be looped perfectly. One chemical bath to make tungstic acid, one electrolyzer to electrolyze both bath outputs, and one chemical reactor to loop back hydrogen and chlorine into hydrochloric acid. So, you will be granted either calcium or lithium as a byproduct. That's free of charge. In Gregtech Community Edition, tungstate or scheelite took 40 seconds and 4 hydrogen buckets at that much EU per tick to electrolyze into 1 tungsten dust. Even if it was simpler, it was much more ridiculously expensive. This new chain is great. I didn't do any of that, so I have no idea. We are going to get more of the scheelite. Let's do the tungstate, actually. We'll grab some tungstate. I do have both of them. I guess I still need to make these machines first. Derp. So, I have prepared plenty of stuff here. The first thing we're going to grab is our chemical bath. Prepared all of the parts for this to make that one, and now we just need our electrolyzer. And then one other machine we're going to need after this is the mixer. So we are going to grab that out just so we have all the machines we need. I did set up a little spot down below. Just take the elevator down. By the way, that elevator does not go up. We will place our chemical bath right here. And I realized I don't need to stress about blowing up these cables because this can only produce 1 amp anyways. So that is perfectly fine. I can place down both those machines and they will slowly charge. So in the advanced chemical bath, we're going to need our hydrochloric acid. I don't know why it specifically wanted the advanced electrolyzer, except for maybe... Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of all those, actually. I think it's because to make this, we do need... Yeah, so we do need to make it in here. So, let us go grab ourselves some of our scheelite. I have tons of it because I have been processing in the meantime. We do have a bunch of stuff trying to get through though. I should probably empty out. Oh no, the nickel can stay. Manganese, I guess that can stay. Those all should be smelted down into something. And then that'll empty out so we can fill this up. Gotcha. So, we're going to dump off some of these. Probably right there. And there. I will clear out my inventory, grab a couple things, and be right back. Alright, so we're back. I got the couple items I need. I just realized I don't have a cable anywhere in the area. So now I'm going to show you something that's very dangerous to do. However, found out that this works. I'm going to string over these HV cables because it is max voltage is what it is. I'm going to string it over to be closer to my machines over here. Now, the real problem with doing this is we cannot mix the cables. And I could see an issue with knowing what colors they should be. And that's the real problem, is that going, oh, well, I just have this cable here, it's such and such machine, just connect it, it's fine. That sounds like a great way to blow things up. So, only going to do this for a short period of time, because I do not love this idea. But I needed to string a machine over so that we had it in the area. So we can go ahead and combine these two to get our acid. And then inside of our chemical bath, we'll throw our tungsten. And once we've got 4, I'll grab out 4 of them. And not in that machine, this machine. Takes 2, and I think that was 6 of those. And then all of the outputs there. So we got the tungstic acid dust and calcium chloride. Now, if we go ahead, take our wrench out, wrench it to the side here, we can have it output the items over, and we will get both the tungstic acid. We'll take the first 7, and we'll get our counterparts. So we'll get tungsten, we will get hydrogen, and we will get oxygen. The oxygen is one of those we don't necessarily need in this loop either, so it's one of those we could definitely get rid of. And there we go, we got 2 tungsten dust. Then we can take these, pop them right back over here, and keep cycling. So we will go ahead and get this sent through a couple times, and I'm going to grab out that tungsten to complete this quest. And then we will grab the tungstate for the lithium, and we're done. That gets us that. So now the tungsten will be made into IV machines once we need it. However, this is where we need the mixer. So once we get into this, we can then go with the mixer, and I guess we gotta pick it back up. So let's pick that back up. Put the mixer back down. That'll say that we've got it. Complete that one. Back on up. Now we need to get to TungstenSteel. So, the main IV material, TungstenSteel. TungstenSteel. Not TungstenSteel. You don't lick it, so it's not TungstenSteel. TungstenSteel will be the new steel. It is composed half of steel, and suffice to say you need a lot of both iron and tungsten. Presently, you will need it for energy and dynamo hatches, one step closer to moving away from pesky single block generators. Boosting the smelting process for this in the electric blast furnace will require helium. To do that, we're going to have to cool off in the blast furnace some air, and then we'll have to distill it. So that's going to be a little bit of a process before we're ready for that. You can get an initial supply by extracting it from monazite or centrifuging endstone, which we actually might do that because I have tons of that. But it does say here at the end, in the long term, you'll want liquid air distillation. So now, let us see what we can do about getting a couple more of these whipped up, and I'll be back with you once we are ready to mix up some TungstenSteel. Alright, we are back now. I've got myself 8 tungsten so far. So we're going to put those two together, and we do need a circuit. I don't think I actually have any circuits with me at the moment. So I do actually have to run back up and grab another one. That was a massive lag spike. Not exactly sure what's causing that, but we'll go ahead and sleep to make sure the power. I did do some AFKing and actually almost ran out of power in my thing over here, in my drive, because it kept raining while I was gone, apparently. We have circuit. We do have one of these program circuits ready for this. And so we can come on down and put in our circuit. So it does require a circuit board of 1 to do. We will go ahead and grab this back out. How long does this take? 10 seconds per. I think we'll let this run a little bit here. Should be able to, although definitely cannot. Let's have this not auto output and pull those out. So the nice part is this will double the amount of tungsten to the TungstenSteel because we're mixing it with steel. But I do want to get this done, because as soon as we can get this done, we can start looking at making these massive generators, which the best part is currently right now, if we did the math, each one of these turbo combustion engines produces 1 HP. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 right now. So if we multiply 7 by 4, that means that we can produce up to 28 medium voltage. And then we can times that one by 4 again, and we got something pretty ridiculous. I think it's like 96, maybe 100 and 102. 8 times 2 is 16, double 32. So it's actually 112. Dang. 112 low voltage, which means we can power 112 of the low voltage machines. Now, the thing is if we do make one of the multi-block that replaces 3 of these turbo combustion engines, and I am pretty sure these end up being slightly, what is the word for it? I think they're slightly more power efficient. So if we look at it, the large combustion engine is a multi-block able to burn combustion fuels for even more power. Its default production output is 2048, which is simple. It's the same as 4 turbo combustion engines. Where it shines is its ability to boost with oxygen. This will double the fuel consumption but triple the power generation for a result in 150% fuel efficiency. It also requires a small amount of lubricant, nothing too crazy. The LEC is also void-free. Unlike large turbines, any energy that cannot be output will momentarily pause the multi-block. This quest requires any tasks to be completed, but will still need all of the you'll still need all the parts. So looking at the multi-block, it is a pretty big multi-block here. But I am actually pretty excited to get into something like this. It does need a bunch of titanium, it looks like. I think it's just the large combustion engine itself. No, that doesn't even require TungstenSteel itself. What requires TungstenSteel? Energy dynamo? I think that's what it was that they said. Extreme voltage cable. Yeah, so it was the extreme voltage, so it did say that. I should have remembered that, but totally did not. So get that back in there, have that auto export so it can do its business. We'll let that just do it at the rate that it's able to do it, so that we consume slightly less energy. At least I think that's how that works. Could be wrong. So, let's go get this dumped in to start. Right, back on up to our... We're gonna need to put this in the vacuum freezer too, because I believe this ends up, yes, as a hot ingot at the end. So, unfortunately, we still have to go around back. Ooh. An auto jump kinda throws you for a loop. We'll get that in there. It's our Mick Chrome, so it should be able to do that. Oh, we don't have enough power set up to go in here. So unfortunately, what we're going to have to do is get another power input cable on the bottom. So we will be back after I grab myself another EV power input. And then we can actually smelt those up. We now have it, and this should solve our tiny problem with not enough energy. Just got to get it wired on in. And watch everything explode here. That's what we're going to be doing. Can't see a smokestack because where we're sitting, so we're going to go ahead and go back around. And it looks like it's working. Nice. So that's going to take 50 seconds for each one. It does give you the whole warning that it doesn't have enough energy for us because it's kind of teetering back and forth on the line. Because it doesn't have that actual EV input. So, in just a second here, we should have our very first TungstenSteel. And then we can even make the TungstenSteel coils after that as well, which those themselves require vanadium steel also. And to get our vanadium steel, we just need to mix chrome, vanadium, and steel in a mixer. So that'll be something we're going to have to do another time. Probably prep it all up. You can also get P2P tunnels, which is fairly useful apparently for helping do auto crafting a little bit better, where you can actually send items to other machines to be able to do things to process and go into certain other machines. So I'll have to show you when I do start trying to figure out those to set it up. I've actually never used P2P tunnels, kind of like I've never actually built the ME system until the very first time in this series. Even though I played plenty with it, I just always thought it was way too much work. I didn't enjoy doing it, so I didn't do it. So, you are just about to see very first TungstenSteel ingot. Awesome. We also got 32 rutile because I put that in. So, our titanium. Nice. Insane voltage. So that does complete that quest, and unlock all of these things. Does give us the chance to make these PICs as well, which it does require a brown lens and at least glowstone docked wafer. What is this? This is why you don't do like random searches and finding out what stuff is, because you get daunted really quickly just looking at other things. So, not advisable. Don't do that. Now, with that TungstenSteel, I do think we might want to consider working towards more titanium, which I honestly did not realize out short on titanium I really was. This 32 currently in my hand is all I have. I used everything to build these 3 machines. So, to be able to build a large combustion engine like I want, it's actually gonna take a bit. So, I think we're gonna have to call it for today. I know it was seemingly very little done, but that's because we did get all of this stuff prepped, and I can show this all to you fairly easily without, what's the word? Without having shown you, without, like, not showing you something I've already done before. So, thank you guys for watching, and next time we're going to take this TungstenSteel here, this very ingot of TungstenSteel. We're going to start working towards building more energy to make more machines. It's crazy crazy Gregtech game looping. And crazy words that my mouth does not want to say. You all guys have a good night. Bye!